Hello, I'm Nobby Clark. Welcome to my workshop. This morning, my wife and I visited our local antiques mall stroke curio centre, and I spotted this again in one of the showcases. It's obviously been in the showcase for quite a long time now, and I've looked at it through the glass window a number of times and couldn't make my mind up whether it would be a thing worth buying or not. I think this is a Mamod Minor steam engine. I think or believe this is probably one of the simplest models they made, where everything is mounted actually on the boiler itself. The cylinder and piston and flywheel and a little chimney, but it is, as you can see, sort of very basic indeed. This hopefully will be a sort of perhaps an interesting project for the workshop at some time, in basically just cleaning it up. I mean, I don't want to do a full restoration on it. I want to leave, particularly on the boiler and chimney, the original patina that's there. The base, the base and the part which holds the boiler obviously is very badly rusted, as you can see. But I think with a bit of care this can be cleaned up and then sort of repainted. It does look as though it was originally painted in black. I did have a look on the internet on eBay, and there are many of these for sale. Slight confusion is that on all the ones I looked at, the base is quite different. This one originally was obviously painted green. All the ones I could see were red, with little sort of flanges in the corner for sort of holding down onto a table or base, and a number of holes drilled into the base as well, very similar to Meccano parts. So I don't know whether this is the original base, whether perhaps this is a very early model, or whether the base at some point has been replaced. There's a metal strap round here that holds the boiler in position, and it's held through two little screws in the base here. There are some parts missing. There's the little cap missing here, which I guess could be easily replaced. And on the front of the boiler, there looks like a little nut soldered onto the front of the boiler with just a simple screw on here. I haven't taken the screw right out, but from the pictures I've seen, this didn't have a screw in it. It was what looked like a bolt head with a little bar going through it, presumably so you can undo it. And I am guessing that this was how you actually emptied any remaining water out of the boiler. It has its little box here to put either, I guess, methylated spirits or the little tablets in here to sort of heat the boiler up. That was with it. I did negotiate a price for this. It seems that a lot of these like antique malls that have all these different cabinets there, owned by different people, they seem to have a standard fixed discount that can be allowed if you want to haggle a bit on the price. But in fact, I told them exactly what I felt I wanted to pay for it. And the guy said, well, no, I'll contact the owner of that particular display and see whether he's interested in accepting your offer, which he did. I think it's because this has probably been on display for a very, very long time, and the guy that ran the antiques mall did tell me that a number of people had a look at it, but no one had even made an offer for it. So actually, if there's anyone out there that is a lot more of an expert on Mamod products than I am, if they can give me any hints on this, whether this is the original base and perhaps a very early model, because I understand that Mamod products have been made since the mid 1930s. I haven't tried to run it yet. When I would not run it on steam. I have got a Mamod traction engine, which I've only ever run on air, and for that one I made this little device which would screw into the traction engine, enabling you to fit an air hose to it so that it could be run on compressed air. And it does have it exactly the same, if I can get that to screw in there, it does have exactly the same thread. I can fit that in there. So I guess that I don't know what was originally in these. I think it was just a little cap. I don't think they on these had the whistle or anything else fitted to them, or the little emergency valve on it. I don't think they were supplied with this one. So point of the video really is, if there's anyone out there that has an idea on this, you know, if they want to let me know through the comments, I'd be quite interested to know. I mean, the flywheel sort of runs the piston quite happily. Obviously it sounds very dry, so obviously it's going to need some oil on it. What I might do is connect it to my compressor and just literally see if it runs, which I'm sure it will actually, but we'll give it a try and see what happens. So that I think is going to be a little future product, you know, probably in between all the other things that I'm working on, and you know, perhaps once it's all nicely cleaned up and perhaps running with replacing some of the missing parts on it, I could show it again. It's a shame that it's got so rusty, but I think with a lot of these things that, you know, years back may have been bought as gifts for children, and when they sort of got fed up with them, they just ended up in an attic or in a cellar or whatever. One other thing also is that obviously at some point something has dropped inside the boiler, so I don't know if you can hear that. If you can hear, it has a rattle. Obviously the holes here and here are so very small, I don't think there's any way of working out what that is, or whether it could be got out. You know, whether it's a part of a screw or something, or a child popped something inside the boiler, and it's just been in there for a long time. The caps on the end of the boiler, I'm assuming that these have been soldered into position. So but again, if anyone could advise me whether it would be easy or difficult to take one of these off and find out what's inside, and then resolder them back on again. I'm not a very expert solderer. I don't know whether this used a regular plumber's solder or whether it was silver solder, but again, I'd be quite interested to know if anyone can help me there. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this quick little video. I thought you'd be just interested to see that, and I was quite pleased with it. It didn't cost me very much money at all in the end. I was rather surprised that the owner of this accepted my offer, but I suppose the way things are at the moment, you know, people you know, have to sort of sell things on if they've been sitting there for a while. Something else I did pick up there as well is a very nice, well, a bit rusty again and marked, is a Westco oil can. I mean, I've got several oil cans at the moment, which have all come from overseas. This is a genuine Westco oil can. These were made in Birmingham. It actually has the date on the base of it, 1960. I guess this is the date, 1965. And it's quite a nice one. Strangely enough, this rattled as well. And when I took the lid off and shook the parts out of the inside, it was actually spare parts, spare springs, this moving part of the piston, this part, some other springs, and a little plastic ball bearing. I've already put those in a little envelope and put them away for safety, but I'm hoping this works better than the import ones I have, which literally leak more oil than goes through the spout. But I do like this. I think it's very, very nice, nice can to sort of add to the collection. Whether it will actually get used or will just remain a bit of an ornament, I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Hope you've liked seeing this little item, and perhaps might be able to help me out with a bit of information on it. Anyway, hope to have another video for you very, very soon, and bye for now. Well, as Tubal Cane, Mr. Pete says, if you're up for a little bit of extra credit, I've oiled up all the moving parts on it and connected it up to my compressor, and there we are. It works. I think it's something, I mean, I guess it would work actually, no doubt about it, because it's, at the end of the day, it is a very, very simple engine. Well, there we are. I think it is going to be worth a little bit of restoration after all. Thanks for joining me again.